Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving deep into question 3 from the June 2024 AQA GCSE Chemistry Paper 2. We're going to use the official mark scheme to get inside the examiner's heads so you can learn exactly how to scoop up every single mark.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick off with the quick-fire questions, then we'll lock down a key definition. And after that, we're going to spend some quality time pulling apart that huge 6-mark question to show you exactly what a top-level answer looks like.
Right, let's get started with question 3.1. This is a classic 2-mark question, and it's really just designed to check your understanding of a pretty fundamental reaction.
So, the question is simple. Give us 2 words that describe what happens when hydrogen and oxygen react. This is a straightforward test of your knowledge on different types of reactions.
And here are the 2 magic words from the mark scheme. First up is combustion, which makes sense, right? Hydrogen burns in oxygen and releases a ton of energy. And the second word is reversible, because, yep, you can split water back into hydrogen and oxygen using electrolysis. Get those 2, and that's 2 easy marks in the back.
All right, let's move on to the next bit, 3.2. Now, this one gets into a really important concept in chemistry, equilibrium. You see this everywhere.
So we're given this equation for water splitting into its ions, and the question wants to know what's actually going on when this reaction hits equilibrium. The biggest clue is right there in the middle, that double arrow. Whenever you see that, you should be thinking reversible reaction.
And this is the exact idea you need to communicate. At equilibrium, the reaction hasn't just stopped, not at all. It means the forward reaction, where water is breaking down, is happening at the exact same speed as the reverse reaction, where the ions are getting back together. It's a perfect balance. That's the key.
And now it's time for the big one, the 6-marker that can really make or break your grade. Question 3.3 is all about treating water. We're going to start with process A, which is all about making water safe to drink, potable water.
So the question asks us to explain what's happening in both process A and process B. Now remember, the word explain is crucial here. It means you can't just list stuff. You have to say what happens and why it happens. So let's build that perfect answer step by step, just like the mark scheme wants. Okay, for process A, making potable water, the mark scheme is looking for 2 main stages. First, filtration. You pass the water through filter beds, and that gets rid of all the solid bits you don't want. Second, you've got to sterilize it. You use something like chlorine, ozone, or even UV light to kill any nasty microbes. That's what makes it safe to drink.
Awesome. We've nailed the first half. Now let's jump over to the second part of the question, process B. This is all about what we do with wastewater, or sewage, before we can let it go back into the river.
So for process B, the mark scheme shows us it starts with physical stuff. First is screening. Think of it like a giant metal sieve that catches all the big objects. Then you have sedimentation. You basically just let everything settle. This separates the water into 2 things: the heavy solids that sink to the bottom, called sewage sludge, and the liquid on top, which is called effluent.
And here's where the biology kicks in, which is pretty cool. Those 2 things we just separated, the sludge and the effluent, get treated in completely different ways. The sewage sludge gets broken down by microorganisms without oxygen. That's called anaerobic digestion. And the liquid effluent gets treated by helpful bacteria with oxygen, and that's aerobic biological treatment.
Okay, so you've laid out all the steps for both processes. You've explained everything. But what's the difference between a good answer and a great one? How do you guarantee you get into that top band for 5 or 6 marks? Just listing the facts isn't quite going to cut it.
And here it is. This is the secret straight from the examiner's playbook. To get access to that top level, level 3, your answer absolutely must talk about both potable water production and wastewater treatment. If you only explain one of them, even if you do it perfectly, you're putting a cap on your score. They need to see that you understand the whole picture.
So, the biggest takeaway here is actually pretty simple, but it is so powerful. You've always got to break down the question and make sure you hit every single part of it. Especially for these big 6 markers, look for the different sections they've built into the question and then structure your answer to match. That's the real secret to turning a good answer into a fantastic one.